Now we'll hear from Judge Judith Chirlin.
Thank you. And thank you for the honor of inviting me to present at the first Pan-American Judges Summit on Social Rights, the Environment, and Social Justice convened by His Holiness, Pope Francis. I speak to you as a member of the delegation from the U.S. National Association of Women Judges, but also as a judicial educator who has designed or participated in the training of judges and other legal professionals from more than 50 different countries through the auspices of the American Bar Association and the U.S. Department of State. In the introduction to the summit, we were told that justices and judges can help us reorganize our social and economic life to uphold the values that create happiness, such as contemplation, prayer, equity, fraternity, friendship, trust, environmental sustainability, and peace. Justices and judges can collaborate to achieve these values, creating the conditions to eradicate poverty, educate everyone, balance the climate, empower women, provide housing, bread, water, and health care without exclusion, and ensure integral human development. Judges are integral in creating conditions in society where all people can thrive. For that to happen, the society in which those judges and justices work must be governed by the rule of law. Indeed, the rule of law is basic to any democratic society, any free society. While definitions may vary, the generally accepted concept is that in societies governed by the rule of law, the law applies equally to all people, no matter their station in life, no matter their position, their wealth, or family. Every person in such a society has equal value, rights, and responsibilities under the law. Fundamental to the rule of law is the independence of the judges who are charged with applying the law. In systems where judges are independent, they decide cases based on the law and the facts without regard to personal or political factors, without regard to personal gain or detriment. But judicial independence is not self-executing. There are many factors that must exist in a society for judicial independence to exist. First and foremost, the people must understand the need for judicial independence and have confidence in the judicial system. That population thus provides a check on politicians or other influential people who may try to use their influence to improperly exert influence on the judges. Many factors must be present to assure popular understanding and confidence. Probably the most important is that there must be a strong, enforceable code of ethics that governs the behavior of judges, both in performing their judicial functions and in their personal lives. There must also be a procedure for enforcing the code of ethics that is not only fair to the accused judges, but is understandable and accessible to those asserting violations of that code. Disciplining or removing judges who do not live up to the high standards set by their codes of ethics enhances the public confidence in the judges who do comply with the code of ethics. On the other hand, procedures must guarantee that judges are not disciplined or removed solely because of disagreement with the judge's rulings. To remove judges because there is a disagreement with their rulings would be the worst kind of affront to the independence of the judiciary. My colleague, Judge Namoto Schumann from California, has spoken to you about codes of ethics and disciplinary commissions within the United States. I would add to this point about the need for codes of ethics and disciplinary mechanisms for errant judges, that there is a parallel need for codes of ethics and disciplinary mechanisms for other people in the legal system. Prosecutors, police, investigators, court clerks, and lawyers. Public confidence in the courts and judges adhering to the codes of ethics can be completely undermined by unethical prosecutors, police, lawyers, and court personnel. Judges must maintain the highest degree of professionalism, continually obtaining the most current education. One of the areas that is critical for judges to be educated on is implicit bias. Judges must be fair to all parties and thus refrain from biased behavior. To do so, they must understand and avoid acting on both explicit and implicit bias. My colleague, Judge Lisa Walsh of Florida, has spoken to you on fairness and bias. Judges must participate in educating members of the public about the legal system and their rights and responsibilities. That can be done in many ways. Educating members of the press who write about the courts so as to ensure that the stories they report are accurate. Creating or participating in educational programs in the schools, or creating or participating in educational programs for members of the public. My friend, Judge Janet Gallardo-Teo from Peru, who we will hear from tomorrow, has done wonderful work in this area. Judges must understand the needs of the members of their communities and, where necessary and appropriate, create programs or procedures to meet those needs. You have heard some of those programs or procedures from my colleagues here today. Judge Lisette Sheridan-Harris of Pennsylvania told you about special programs in her court created to deal with the problems of homeless people and to deal with the particular problems of elderly people. Judge Joy Kosich-Lebrano of Louisiana told us about special programs created to focus on children in the court system in an effort to bring together services needed by children and their families. Judge Bernadette de Souza of Louisiana discussed with us the problems faced by people who do not have lawyers. She tells us about programs in her community which help to assure equal justice, equal access to justice, by providing legal assistance so that all litigants have the best opportunity to present their cases appropriately. Judge Linda Streit-Mernan, who is a retired colonel in the United States Air Force, told us about the special courts set up to deal with the wide range of unique legal problems faced by military veterans. And Judge Marian Gaston of California has told us of the special approaches to people in what we call collaborative courts, where special social service agencies participate in helping resolve the problems that cause people to end up in court. In each of these ways, judges are not only educating the public and the litigants in their courts, but they are assuring that the courts serve the needs of their people in their communities. And I would be remiss if I failed to mention what judges' associations, like the National Association of Women Judges, can do to contribute to the legal system by educating people about their rights and responsibilities. Judge Tamila Apima, president of our U.S. National Association of Women Judges, has told you about our association. Other associations, such as the International Association of Women Judges, the American Bar Association, and state and local bar associations around our country have programs as well. Those programs, which aim to both improve the courts and educate the population, are part of lawyers and judges' both legal and moral responsibilities and obligations to improve the legal system in the communities they serve. And now I leave you with this thought. We as judges and lawyers have been given a lot. It is our responsibility to use our God-given assets, our intelligence, our ingenuity, our creativity, and our power to assure justice for all of the people of our communities. It is only in that way that we will, as Pope Francis has challenged us, create conditions in society where all people can thrive. Thank you. Thank you.